Hello friends, welcome to the next video of DBMS practical lecture series. In this video we are going to learn about the views and the significance of views, how to create, replace and drop view, and how we can modify the existing records and how we can insert the new records into the view as well as to the table. So let's start with a brief introduction of views, then we will move to the practical demonstration. So first of all, the views are the virtual table, means we are not creating the new entries or new table views as the new table. So they are created from the existing tables, and it can combine the result set of stored queries, means you can run any query and the result set of that query can be stored as a view, as a virtual table, means they are not really existing, but always they are extracting the data from the stored query or the tables. So we can say that views are dynamic in nature and can be computed from the existing tables in the database. We are extracting the records from one or more than one tables. By more than one table we mean that we may have the join query, sub query or other type of union and intersection, other operations for the query, and that result can be stored as a dynamic view. And any changes to the data, means if you are changing the data in the table, means from where the records are extracted, similarly we can see the same changes will be reflected in the view as well. Okay, and vis-a-vis is also possible, means if you are making any changes to the view, as we are extracting view from the table, okay, or you can have complete table as a view, or you can have a part of table as a view, and any changes made to the view will be reflected to the table, and any changes to the table will be shown in the view. So both way we can use them, in both way, means we can edit the table and the changes will be reflected in the view, and we can also edit the view and the changes will be reflected in the table. So we can use the view as a complete table, means all the command that we were using with tables, any query with the table will also be done with the view. Now significance: views are used to restrict the certain user from accessing the entire database. As we have already discussed, views can be complete table or a part of the table. So if you want to restrict the entry to the database, means if you want to make a user access to a part of database, then you can create a view for that part and we can provide that view to the user. Okay, so now the command for creating the view and replacing the view. So for creating view, you can write the create view like you were writing create table. So here this time we are creating a view, so we can write create view, then we have the view name as select, next we have as select star from the table name, let's suppose it's the student. Okay, so here in this query we are selecting all the records of the student table in the view V1, but you can have the choice, like you can select particular columns from the table name. Here this table is the table from view from where you are extracting the records to store in this view. Okay, and we can also have the where condition in the select query, you can have the join conditions, you can have aggregate operations. So any queries record can be created as a view. So views are virtual, not actual. Next, if you try to create a new view with the same name V1, then after this query, after this, if you try to create the same view, means a new view with the same name, then you are going to get an error, because this view V1 is already existing. It is same as, like you cannot create another table with the name same as the existing table. So here also you are going to get an error. But if you really want to create the new view with the same name, then you can use the replace command. Okay, so for that you need to write create or replace view V1 as select this. Okay, so if you try to create the same name view with the same name as already existing, then you need to use the word replace view, but you cannot directly write Like here you cannot write replace view. This would give you an error because any command, this command for creating a view cannot start with the replace word. For that you also need to use the create or replace view. You cannot use replace view v1. Okay, this will not work. So let's see the command for deleting the view. If you want to delete the rows from the view, then you have the simple command like deletion of rows from the table. Delete from view means like if we have the view with name v1, delete from v1 as select this. Okay, but if you want to drop the view, like we were dropping the table, means by delete command you are deleting the records, means rows from the table. Similarly, by deleting the command from a view, you are deleting the rows, not the table, not the view. So to delete the complete view, you need to write drop view and view name. Okay, so for this practical we are going to use these two tables, means as student as library, for creating the views and to perform different modifications and updations through the view. So let's start. Here this is our first table, so let's create a view. You can use the only the create word while creating a view, but if you try to create a view with the same name as existing, then you also need to write create or replace view. So here this time I am going to create view v1 as select star from, or let's select only roll number from student. Okay, so the view is created. You can list the view simply like a table. This is the entries for our view. Select star from v1, like we were performing the select operation with the table. So you can try any query that we have learned in the previous practicals with view as well. They will work in the same manner. Now let's try to create a view v1 as select star from v1, student. So I am trying to create the same a new view with the same name v1 as select start from the student table, but this time I am selecting the complete table, but the same name that we have used earlier. We can have please note that we can have multiple views of a table. So if I try to create the same view, a new view with the same name, then we are going to get an error because the name is already existing as an object. Okay, so we cannot create two objects with the same name. So this time we have the replace command, means along with create you need to write create or replace. If existing, then replace view with the name v1 as select star from the student. Okay, so the view is created. So let's list the view select star from v1. This time we will be getting the complete table. So this is like a table only. Let's try to create a new. You can also use replace command while creating a view with a new name. Like here I am going to create a view, create or replace view v2 as select star v2 as select star from the student. So this time v2 is not existing, but still you can write the replace. Okay, there is no problem with this. So here I have created one more view for the student table. So this time if we try listing it, so both will display the same entry. Okay, so if you have multiple users, so you can create multiple views by using select clause and can provide to the specific user. Suppose for one user I want to provide the access to roll number only. So you can create the view, like I am creating a view 3 as select only roll number and name from student. So v3 is going to have only 2 attributes, not the complete table. So similarly you can create multiple views from the for the existing database and can use them for multiple users. Okay, so let's try to modify some data or records in the table in the view, and let's see whether the changes are reflecting in the table or view or not. So here is the view V1. We are going to work on this view only. So this time I am going to modifying this name. Okay, let's modify the records, then we will see whether the changes are actually performed, actually shown in the table or not. So here update V1, we are updating V1, set name equals to Gia, where. Now we need to write where we need to set the Gia as the name. Otherwise, if we are not mentioning the where clause, what will happen? It will change all the name, means it will update all the names to the Gia. Okay, so where clause is necessary, where roll number equals to 11. Okay, so let's change it to some different name. I am going to change this Gia to the Tia, where roll number is 11. Okay, so here one row is updated, and let's list the view. So V1 in view is now having the new entry with the name as Tia for roll number 11. So let's check the table as well, whether the changes have been shown in the table or not. So select start from student. So here also we are getting the updated record, means whatever we have made, whatever we have changed with the view, the changes are also reflected in the table as well. Okay, so this is the value of view, means you can provide a part of view to the user, and whatever changes you are making to the view, that will be reflected to the table, means they are working at the same database, means every time you are selecting something from the view, they are extracting the record from the table only, and any changes made to the view are the direct updation to the table only. Okay, so every time we are extracting the record from the existing database, and every changes will also be performed in the existing database, not in the view. So let's try to delete something. If we or insert, let's try to insert something. Insert into student, sorry, this time we are going to insert into view. Insert into V1 values. So let's insert for the roll number, name, and branch. Okay, so roll number is, let's suppose 45, name is so one row is inserted in the view. Okay, but this row is not actually inserted in the view, this row is actually inserted in the actual database, means student table. Okay, so next time if we try to list the V1, it will extract, as the changes are directly made to the student database, the new row is inserted with roll number 45, and any next time if you try to list the view, now it is extracting the updated record, means new records from the student database. Okay, so here also we are getting the new row that we had inserted in the view, it is also reflected, changes are also reflected in the actual database student. Okay, let's try to delete from V1 where roll number equals to 45. Okay, so if we are writing only this delete from V1, it will delete all the records from the view as well as from the table. So it is not directly deleting from the view, it is actually deleting from the actual record where roll number is 45 and the row is deleted. Let's check the view. The row is deleted from the view because the row is actually deleted from the student database. Okay, so we tried insertion, deletion and updation in the views, and the same is also reflecting to the database. Okay, or we can say that the directly updations are are done at the existing database, and next time if we try to list the view, the updated record will be extracted from the actual database. So let's try to work or create a new view with the library table, where we can also add some aggregate operations. So let's try this. So for this we need to select star from the library. Firstly we need to list the table. So here is our table. So here we can see that one student is having multiple books issued. So 22 is appearing 3 times. Okay, and the 11 is having only one book. Roll number 44 is having 2 books issued to him, and 33 is also having 2 books issued to him. So we can create the view with different type of information from the library table. Number 1, if you want to list only the roll number, means suppose I want to provide a view to the account department for the roll numbers having the fine, okay, or the total fine corresponding to a roll number. So we can create the view in multiple ways. Means we are not actually changing the table, but we can perform different analysis, we can perform different operations, or we can extract different type of information from the table and can store that information as a view. So let's try to create a view. Create, I am not writing replace because I am going to use a unique name only. Create view library underscore view 1 as select roll number and fine. I want to display only these 2 records to the account department. Okay, so only roll number and the fine. Select create view library underscore view as select roll number fine from the library. So the view is created. So let's list the view. Sorry, view, it was view 1, not view. So select star from library underscore view 1, and here are the records. So roll number 22 is having fine of 201, fine of 120, fine of 300. But if you want only analyzed information, means if you want to provide only the calculated information, aggregated information to the account department, then you can also create the view in the same manner. Like I want to provide the information to the department like 22, roll number 22 is having a total fine of 201 plus 120 plus 300. So this type of operation can also be performed, but for that you need to extract the aggregated information. So let's create a new view library underscore view 2 as select roll number, but this time I am going to perform the sum. Means I am going to perform the aggregate operation of sum based on the roll number. Means for one roll number a total fine is must be stored as a new record in the new view, okay, from library. But for that you cannot write a aggregate operation with the roll number. Means with a single column you cannot you cannot extract the aggregate result. So for that I am going to use the group by. For more details on aggregate operation like sum, count, max, min, average and the group by and having clause, you must watch the previous practical videos where we have discussed the detail for these operations. So group by roll number. So here I am going to club the roll numbers together, and we are going to add the fine corresponding to one roll number, and that record will be stored as a row in the library view 2. Okay, so select start from as we are going to select roll number, sum of the fine from library group by roll number. Must name this expression with a okay, right, while using the aggregate operations. Okay, so this is not the we can say that this cannot be the column name for any table. this is the result. This is extracting a result. So roll number is a column name. Roll number is a column name for the new view. Similarly, we need to provide a new name for this aggregate operation, because we cannot store this aggregated result as the name of this operation. Okay, so you need to provide a alias, means name for this aggregate result. For this I am going to provide, let's provide it total fine, total underscore fine. So this record, means this aggregated record entry will be stored with the column name total fine corresponding to a roll number extracted from the library group by roll number. Okay, this time the view is created with aggregated information. So let's list the view. So view 1 was this, where we were having roll number and the total and the individual fine, means fine per book is displayed here. Now let's extract the aggregated information, where we will be having the fine corresponding to a roll number, means total fine corresponding to a roll number, and this is going to be like this. So let's start from library view 2. 22 roll number 22 is having a total fine of 621. Okay, you can see 22 is having a fine of 201, 120 and 300. So total is 621. Similarly, roll number 44 is having a total fine of 280. Okay, 44 is having total fine of 280, as 210 plus 70. Okay, comprises of 280. So here you can judge by yourself. This is more aggregate result to be provided, that can be provided to the accounts department to for the students fine information. But we cannot edit the table, means we cannot edit the actual library table. Okay, so if you modify this table to extract this information, then it is going for the loss of information. We will lost the information of the books. Okay, and we will also lose the information of number of books, means how many books the student have got issued. So all those information will be lost. So it is always better to create a view for the required result and provide to certain user. Okay, so here we are going to provide this information to the account department. Similarly, from any other database you can extract different type of information and can store that information as a view. So that's it for this video. See you in the next video. Till then, bye and take care.